So good morning students. In the last lecture we were talking about Sen-Venance method. Okay. Now with that we have already completed our module 5. There may be some university problems that can be asked that we will discuss in the revision part. Fine. Now we will move to module 6 and the first part is Prandtl stress function method. So before going to this lecture, please note that it is very important that you have covered your last lectures on Sen-Venance method. Without that you will not understand this Prandtl stress function method. Okay, so here this Prandtl stress function, this is just a continuation for Sen-Venance method, or it's an alternative approach for finding the torsion of prismatic bars. It's an alternative method. It's the same method or same answer will be given, but there are some differences in the equations. Okay, and of course the in case of Sen-Venance method, you had a warping function which is represented by psi, right? So in Prandtl stress function method you have another constant or another stress function called Prandtl stress function phi. This is similar to what we have studied in our earlier portions like stress functions, Airy stress functions and all, similar to a term which is similar to that. Okay, so here we are introducing a new stress function called Prandtl stress function, which is denoted by phi. Okay, now here also we are going to find the torsion of bars, which is just an alternate to Sen-Venance theory. Okay, we had warping function psi of xy which depends on x and y in case of Sen-Venance method, whereas here we have phi which is similar to psi. Okay, but here it is similar to Airy stress function. The notation is different, that's all. Okay, so the major difference that happens will be in Sen-Venance method, the governing equation was del square psi is equal to 0, right? I hope you remember that. If you are not remembering it, just go back to the previous lectures and find the lecture on Sen-Venance method. Okay, so similarly here also you will find out del square phi. Instead of psi you will find del square phi, but it will see whether it is going to be 0 or a non-zero component. Okay, so of course we are taking the basic derivations and basic concepts are same. In case of Prandtl stress function also we are dealing with the same problem as or the same concept that we were doing in case of Sen-Venance method. See, in case of Sen-Venance method, I will get back to you. See, in torsion we found that in Sen-Venance method these all things are similar, there is no change here and nothing is having any change here. Okay, these are all same. Okay, the same assumptions we are going to take here also. Okay, so for that what happens here in Sen-Venance method, you have the values of sigma x, sigma tau xy, sigma y, sigma z, tau yx, etc. These terms becomes 0. Here also, in this case also, you are going to take these terms as 0. That's all. That is, there is no stress in x, y, z and there is no shear in xy plane. Okay. Similarly, the tau xz and tau yz will not be 0. Right? Okay. This is the result that we have already proved from Sen-Venance principle. So I am not repeating it. Okay. Now the next step is we'll apply this in differential equation of equilibrium. This also we have already done. Okay, then we will get these all terms 0. These terms are 0, and those with z will become 0 because it is independent of z, right? The same thing we have explained in the Shen-Venon's method also. That is, tau zx by dx plus dou by dou y of tau yz is 0. Now we should give value for tau zx and tau yz such that this condition is satisfied. Okay, now onwards we will be taking a lot of assumptions regarding this. Okay, so here we are assuming that tau xz is equal to dou phi by dou y and tau yz is minus dou phi by dou x. This is just an assumption. Okay, and phi is called as stress function. Okay, and now check it whether this condition is being satisfied by giving these values. Okay, so these sort of assumptions we have already done in case of Airy's stress functions and all these polar coordinates also. So similarly we are assuming tau xz as a function of phi. Okay, now applying this in this equation, instead of tau zx you are applying this value, and instead of tau yz minus d phi by dx. So what happens? It's dx here dy. So dou square phi by dou x dou y, take the minus out, dou square phi by dou y dou x. So it becomes 0. So the equation is satisfying and the assumed values are valid. So it's a valid function. Okay, so after applying this term in our differential equation of equilibrium, now we'll take out the stress components. If stresses here, only these two stresses are non-zero, all others are 0, so the strain will also be 0. So strain is given by in xz will be 1 by g tau xz, gamma yz is equal to 1 by g tau yz. Okay, since how this came 0, there are many methods, like if you know epsilon xx is sigma x by e minus nu sigma y by e minus nu sigma z, all tends to 0. Similarly gamma xy is 1 by g into tau xy is 0. Okay, in that case you will have only these two components of strain, right? So now here you give the values of xz and yz, that is d phi by dy and minus d phi by dx. Okay, then you will get 1 by g into d phi by dy, gamma yz is 1 by g into minus d phi by dx. Okay, right. Now you will apply it in compatibility conditions. Let us recollect the equations of compatibility. In the last portion we were applying these in some other equation, that means strain equations. Here we are going to apply this in compatibility conditions of strain. Okay, so we'll recollect we had two sets of equations, big equations. So we need to satisfy these conditions here. Okay, that means the first set is dou square by dou y square. It's a relation between x and y. So x and y, if you take here gamma xy, you'll be having gamma xy. So here x and here y. Okay, x and y, xy, x and y, both are double differentiated. Okay, so z and y, z and y, z and y. Similarly you got z and x. The second set is nothing but dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z. Here, since this is doing with x, you have epsilon xx, here epsilon y by epsilon zz. And now you first apply the term with x, zx and xy, okay, with x, and minus the term which is not having this term, that is x. So yz should be minus. Okay, similarly y, you add y terms of shear and minus the term which is not having y. Okay, so these are the two sets of conditions that can be compatibility condition that you have already learned from the last portion of your module 1. Okay, Now substituting these values, that means epsilon xx, yy, zz, gamma xy is equal to 0, and applying this equation, gamma xy equal to 1 by g dou phi by dou y, and gamma yz is equal to minus 1 by g dou phi by dou x. See what happens. The first set, the whole thing, epsilon x's, epsilon yy, gamma xy, it is 0. And in the second set, see, so this second equation also, y by zy, ezz is 0. So this should be 0. Okay. And these all became 0, right? Z terms are 0. So these all became 0. Now, what happens here? In the second set, RHS, the all terms are 0. Why? Epsilon xx, epsilon yy, epsilon zz. And the epsilon d by dou z, these terms all become 0 because it is independent of z, right? And gamma xy is also 0. So gamma xy is also 0. So in these two equations, you neglect the values of gamma xy. Then the expression will, second set expression will come like this: dou by dou x of this one, dou by dou f gamma zx and yz. See the same equation here. Here, if you cancel this term, then these two equations are put here. Okay, expand it. Instead of gamma zx, you give the value of, in terms of Prandtl stress function, here and here. Okay, here it was minus, here the value is minus dou phi by dou x. So minus minus plus. Okay, now taking out 1 by g, you will get this thing. So the dou by dou x of dou square phi by dou y square plus dou square phi by dou x square is equal to 0. Similarly, you will get dou by dou y of, see, if you, this is the second set, in that you neglect this term, then this thing. If you expand it, you will get dou by dou y of dou square phi by dou y square plus dou square phi by dou x square. Okay, that means this term, you have dou by dou y here and dou by dou x here, and the term inside the bracket is same in both the cases. That means it is whatever be the term in which it is getting differentiated, the answer you are getting is 0. Okay, that means this term is independent of x and y, and also this is a constant. Okay, so this becomes a constant. So that constant, I take it as f. Okay, so now this constant is given by f is equal to dou square phi by dou y square plus dou square phi by dou x square, right? This is nothing but del square phi. Okay, so del square phi is equal to f. It's a constant. The main thing is whatever it is, f, m, y, etc. Whatever it is, del square phi is a constant. Okay, now you are again going for boundary conditions, that we have the same pattern we have done in Sen-Venant's method also. Sx, sy, z, these three values are 0. A and z is 0. Sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, tau xy, these are all 0. Then see the term which last is tau xz a nx plus tau zy a ny equal to 0. Give the values of tau xz and tau zy, dou phi by dou y minus dou phi by dou x. This will be the equation. Again, you are going to recollect the formula for anx and any for a boundary of delta s, which is having a normal vector. Okay, anx will be the cos of angle between n and x, and any will be cos of angle between n and y. So this is n vector, this is alpha, the angle between n and x is cos alpha. n and y is 90 minus alpha. Okay, right? So sine alpha it will come. Okay, fine. So nx is, this is dx, this is minus dx, ny will be minus dx by ds, and nx will be dy by ds. Okay, this we have already done in our previous lectures and manons. Okay, substituting these values in this equation, you will get d phi by ds is equal to 0. So this is an important observation. Okay, now since the value of phi is constant over its boundary, so d phi by ds, that means throughout this boundary, this phi stress function is not changing. So for simplicity, we'll consider, since this phi is associated only with its differentials, we'll consider this phi as 0. Phi is also 0 on S. Very important, on S. Okay. Now we'll continue and we'll find out the torque. This torque equation, the same equation that we have found from Sandman theory. This is nothing but you can remember it like tau yz is the stress, dx dy is area. Stress into area is force, force into perpendicular distance. Tau yz is in a perpendicular distance x and tau xz is in a perpendicular distance y. So the term is actually tau yz into dx dy into perpendicular distance is x, that is force into perpendicular distance, and tau xz into dx dy into y. Minus sign came due to rotation, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, if you have doubt, just refer the Sandman's method. Okay, now here you give the values of tau yz and tau xz, you will get like this. Okay, now here you will get a value integral, double integral x d phi by dx dy minus double integral y d phi by dy dx dy. Now from here I am going to skip two or three steps, and if you integrate it, this term by parts, method of parts, you will get this answer, that is double integral x d phi by dx dy will become phi into dx dy, double integral phi dx dy, and this will also give you the answer, double integral of phi dx dy. Okay, substitute these things, you will get t is equal to 2 into double integral of phi dx dy. So no use in confusing from here. If you do it by integration by parts, you will get this answer. Okay, okay, no need to worry about this. Okay, okay. Now we have found out the torque in case of Prandtl stress function. Now we'll find the value of F. Initially we had a thing del square phi is equal to F, right? So we'll find the value of F. Del square phi by dou x square plus dou square phi by dou y square is equal to del square phi. Here you will again give the values of tau yz and tau xz. Okay, so instead of dou phi by dou x, you are giving tau yz, and here dou phi by dou y you will give minus tau zx. Okay, so that is what I have done, a reverse process. Okay, so tau yz is g into gamma yz and this thing. Okay, applying this in this equation, you will get this equation. Fine. Okay. Okay, now taking out this g and rearranging the term, you will get this equation. And you know, gamma yz is in terms of displacement in x and y direction or y and z direction. This is the equation, and gamma xz, this will be the equation. Okay, now substituting this equation in the previous equation, this equation, you will get this equation. Okay, then you're just expanding the term, you will get this equation, and this is just expanding the terms, so you will get this equation. Now after getting to this equation, now you are introducing another term which is called as Wz or omega z, which is defined as rotation of element at xy about z axis. This is a new term which does not depend on, these two terms does not depend on w, so but it is rotating on xy plane about z axis. Okay, so this omega z is 1 by 2 into dou v by dou x minus dou u by dou y. This you need to mug up. Okay, now this is dou v by dou x. Here it's minus dou v by dou x. So the equation becomes g into minus of 2 omega z, and also dou by dou z of omega z is theta. The theta is twist per unit length. So here you found out del square phi is equal to minus 2g theta. This is what this is very, very important. Del square phi is equal to minus 2g theta in case of Prandtl stress function, whereas del square phi is equal to 0, sorry, del square psi is 0 in case of Sandman's method. Okay, I hope you got this. This is a very big lecture, but this is very, very important topic. Okay, thank you. You first find you see the video full and then you write down. Okay, thank you.